Geomshash 2.2 is right around the corner, and thanks to countless teasers Robtop has released on his social medias, we have a pretty good idea of a lot of features that the update contains. Today, we'll be covering all 11 YouTube teasers and ranking them from S to F. The rankings will be based on how much hype these teasers created for the update, how important the feature the video is showcasing is to the actual update, how well the feature is showcased, how much of the feature is showcased, and other smaller criteria that aren't worth really listing right now. Keep in mind, this tier list is my personal opinion, and if you disagree with some of the placings, feel free to comment about them down below. Also, this video format is heavily inspired by GD Cole, so check him out if you want to see some similar Geomshash stuff. Let's get straight into it. Ah yes, the first edition of the Fun with 2.2 series. Back then, Robtop wanted 2.2 to be a smaller update since 2.1 took so long. If only he knew what he had just dug himself into, man. Anyway, the first teaser wasn't really much on the surface. It showcased the random trigger, a trigger that activates a certain group randomly. This feature doesn't seem that important at first glance, but for normal levels, there's not really enough uses for it. Although, the real magic of this trigger can be utilized when making minigame levels. This trigger is a game changer for minigames, and I can't wait to see what the community comes up with when using it. The overall sneak peek wasn't too serious, it simply explored the more trolly uses for the trigger, which I hope doesn't get overused in levels when 2.2 comes out. Overall, the teaser was pretty short but concise, but it also didn't generate much hype. It also contains decently big problem that I'll talk about later in the video, so it gets a personal rating of C tier. Camera controls are one of the main features of 2.2, so it's pretty clear from the beginning that it's going to be rated higher than the initial teaser for 2.2. You can immediately tell that the teaser in terms of length showcases more than the previous one. Plus, what it showcases is more important to the fundamental game than the first teaser. GD Sub-Zero showcases the massive amount of uses for the camera controls, and how they can add so much depth to the level. It makes you see the level from a whole new perspective. Get it? The sneak peek has basically everything there is to know about the camera trigger. I seriously don't think there's much else to showcase. Also, it did generate a bit of hype. Free Fly is also a very cool mode that makes it so much easier for creators to build levels. This teaser was also pretty concise, the only thing we didn't see is the actual trigger. But this is also true for most other teasers, so due to all the aforementioned factors, this teaser gets an A. The final fun with 2.2 is good. The feature showcasing is very important to 2.2 and is showcased pretty well. It did create hype and was also very short but very concise. There's not much to say about this teaser, so it gets an A, mainly because it created lots of hype and this is one of the most important features being added in the update. I'ma be honest, I love this teaser a lot. It showcased the entire particle trigger. Seriously, people don't understand how important this is to be the Geomshash levels in the future when the update finally comes out. It will make creating cool effects so much easier. I can't wait to see how creators utilize this feature to its full potential. The problem with the sneak peek is that it really didn't generate a lot of hype for most non-creators since it doesn't really affect gameplay much. Other than that, everything was showcased very well, but unfortunately I will have to keep it an A and not an S since it's not really important to gameplay and didn't generate that much hype. Now we start getting into the big boys, the very important teasers and even the sneak peek. But before going into that, shameless plug alert. Please consider subscribing and liking, it really does help out a ton. Also, maybe even join my Discord or even follow me on Twitter, that'd be pretty cool.
I love geometry.
Bro, Robtop really said hold on, let me cook and then dropped this bomb on the computer. I bet everyone was screaming when they first saw the sneak peek. There's really not much to say here. The hype generated was insane. It showed a new background, a new ground, a new monster, but most importantly, the platformer mode. It was showcased very well as well. What he showcased barely scratches the surface of what you can do in platformer mode. It still gets an S, but it's nothing compared to what's coming up soon. Okay, this next teaser showcased the skill trigger, which is a good trigger, don't get me wrong, but it has the same problem as a few other triggers in this list, such as the random trigger, the keyframe trigger. Did it really deserve its own teaser? Like, yeah, they're good features, but there's so much more that can be showcased instead of those. Think the map, think versus mode. It really just doesn't make sense. This one does get a pass though, since basically everyone in the community wanted this feature. But it really didn't generate that much hype in my opinion. I'm guessing people saw the teaser and said, "Oh, that's pretty cool, can't wait to use it," and moved on with their lives. It did showcase the trigger well, and it was concise, so it does get itself C tier, but I'm not a fan. Alright, this auto build thing is a pretty cool feature, but like, do we really need this feature in 2.2? Or heck, in Geometry as a whole? I mean, it's like nice to have, but that's about it. And plus, it removes a lot of creativity since people can just copy paste the same block design over and over again. This feature would have peaked in like, I don't know, 2.0? Once again, I didn't see many people getting too hyped about it. I think this is a cool and all-around feature, but at the same time, it's just unnecessary. Although it is concise like every other teaser, so it does get itself a B tier, barely. It also explains basically everything there is to know about this feature. Alright, we just went through some more boring ones, and Robtop finally decided to treat us. Everyone thought this was going to be a rickroll, but boy, not only was it an actual sneak peek, he showcased everything. New blocks, new triggers, this new swing game mode, the crazy arrow trigger, the new pixelated art style, and finally the main level. Everyone thought this was going to be Explorers, but no, we got Dash. Anyways, we also got a cutscene confirming 2.2 will expand the Geometry lore, and another platformer mode showcase. Now this generated by far the most hype for the update out of all the teasers. Plus, the Robtop hit us with the Geometry Dash. Anyways, this is an obvious S tier, and will probably be the best sneak peek Rob has ever released for Geometry Dash. Everyone was waiting for the second sneak peek, but we got this while Robtop was working on the other one. I had the same thoughts for this as the random trigger and the new editor system sneak peek. I don't think it deserved its own sneak peek, but it was at least better than the other ones. Unfortunately, it was right behind the other sneak peek, which kind of robbed all the hype out of this. But it's still concise and had lots going for it. Rob showcased the feature pretty well, and I'm happy to say this one at least got itself a B tier placement. Alright, here we have it, boys, the most controversial sneak peek of them all. This one split the community in half, or more like, it split the community in a 95-5 ratio, in favor of those who weren't big fans of the sneak peek and gave lots of criticism on how Rob could improve the level. Luckily, Rob actually listened and said he would change the level, so I can't wait to see how it turns out when the update actually comes out, or if it comes out more. It is a sneak peek, so it does artificially increase its own score to at least a B. It generated tons of hype for the people who thought the update was right around the corner, if only they knew. It also showcased quite a lot. The problem was the actual level. It was way too gimmicky, and I'm very glad Robtop is changing it. Due to the level not meeting standards, the sneak peek does get downgraded from an S to an A, and hopefully Explorers turns out to be a better level than we anticipated. Really counting on you, Rob, here. Oh my god, where do I even begin? Finally we got a sneak peek that actually centered around platform mode. The other one doesn't count since that's a teaser, not a sneak peek. Learn the difference. Okay, time for me to go hot take more here. This is the best sneak peek we got from Robtop. The main showcase of the sneak peek was the sound effects trigger, and also some lore and platformer features. But I love the sound effects so much, they add so much life into the level. Just look at what the sneak peek would have looked like if it didn't have sound effects. Pretty bland, right? Now, the YouTuber Cruz did do a lot of investigating and found out this level is actually the first level of the tower, and the tower is needed to unlock the map. Makes sense? No? Then you're right on track. Anyways, the map has been my favorite feature coming in the update for some reason. I don't know why, it just really stands out for me, you know? Anyways, enough about that. This sneak peek is awesome. It's a great way to end off 2.2 teaser since it's probably the last one before 2.2 actually gets released. This one easily gets an S tier. It generated tons of hype and it came out so unexpectedly. And it basically confirmed that 2.2 is closer to Geometry ever since it got removed from the Play Store. Okay, the first person to comment how many times I said 2.2 in this video gets credited on my next video, whenever that comes out. This is the finished tier list. If you want to make any changes, look to the tier list in the description. Feel free to write comments on what you think you should change, or even make your own video on the topic. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you like what you see. And even join my Discord server. Yo, please join my Discord server, that'd be so cool, I would love you forever. Anyways, see y'all. Peace.